Toolkit 9, Exploring Our Emotions. Title of the activity, Exploring Our Emotions. Aim of the activity, to help participants develop the key skills of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and relationship skills. This activity aims to encourage reflection on one's own emotions, their management in different contexts, and understanding the emotions of others. Activity description. Through an introspection exercise and a series of interactive activities, participants will identify their own emotions, practice self-regulation techniques, and reflect on how empathy and communication skills can improve their interpersonal relationships. This activity includes a group discussion to strengthen the ability to share experiences and build empathy. Materials needed: sheets of paper and pens. Emotion cards, cards with names of different emotions such as joy, sadness, fear, frustration, etc. Large poster boards or blackboards for writing. Optional: soft music to accompany reflection. Duration of the activity: 60 to 75 minutes. Group size: groups of 10 to 20 people, organized in small groups of 3 to 5 people. Step-by-step instructions. Introduction to emotional intelligence, 10 minutes. Briefly explain what emotional intelligence is, and the 5 key components according to Daniel Goleman: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, social skills, and motivation. Make sure everyone understands the purpose of the activity and its importance for personal development and interpersonal relationships. Self-awareness exercise. Identifying emotions, 10 minutes. Ask participants to recall a recent moment when they experienced an intense emotion. Can be positive or negative. Hand out the emotion cards and ask them to choose a card that represents the emotion they felt at that moment. Then, each participant writes on a piece of paper: what situation triggered this emotion? How did they react at the time? How would they have liked to react? Self-regulation exercise, managing emotional reaction, 15 minutes. After everyone identifies an emotion and how they reacted, introduce the concept of self-regulation. Explain that self-regulation involves learning to manage emotions and respond constructively, rather than acting impulsively. Provide examples of self-regulation techniques, such as deep breathing, visualization, or pausing before responding. Then ask them to think of a strategy that would have helped them react better in the situation they described earlier. Participants can share their strategies in small groups. Empathy exercise. Listening and understanding the other. 15 minutes. Divide participants into pairs and give them 5 minutes each to share a recent emotional experience, while their partner practices active listening, without interrupting, maintaining eye contact and showing interest. The listener should try to understand the emotion their partner is sharing, and then ask an empathetic question, such as, "What was the most difficult part of that experience for you?" Or, "What helped you deal with that emotion?" After this exercise, each pair reflects on how they felt about being heard and listening to their partner. Developing relationship skills. Assertive communication. 15 minutes. Introduce the concept of assertive communication and explain that it is a key skill for expressing emotions clearly and respectfully. Divide participants into groups of 3 to 4 people and ask them to practice assertive communication using phrases such as, "I feel excitement when situation, because reason. I would like proposal for change." Each group will share hypothetical situations, such as a conflict at work or a disagreement with a friend, and practice expressing themselves using this model of assertive communication. Final group reflection, 10 minutes. Bring the group together for a final discussion. Facilitate a reflection on the process of the activity, asking questions such as, "What part of the activity did you find most challenging? How did it feel to share and listen to the experiences of others? In what ways do you think emotional intelligence can improve your daily relationships?" Reflection and closing. Conclude the activity by reminding us that emotional intelligence is a skill that can be developed with constant practice. Reiterate the importance of being aware of our emotions, regulating them, and practicing empathy to improve our relationships. Mention that emotional challenges are normal, and that tools such as self-regulation and assertive communication can help us respond constructively. Simple assessment. Emotional intelligence diary. Emotion journal, 5 minutes. At the end, give each participant a sheet where they can start an emotional intelligence diary, in which they record a daily emotion for the next week. On the sheet, they should write down the emotion they felt, what caused it, how they responded, how they would have liked to respond. At the end of the week, they can reflect on their progress and the self-regulation skills they learned. Sharing reflections, optional, 5 minutes. If the group is small and there is time, they can share aloud one of the experiences they recorded in their emotional intelligence journal, talking about how the concepts of self-awareness or self-regulation help them in their day-to-day life. Activity variants. For large groups, you can do some exercises in a group discussion format rather than in pairs or small groups. Online, self-awareness and empathy exercises can be done through virtual rooms, and the emotion diary can be a shared document on Google Docs or a similar digital platform. Tips for the facilitator. Make sure to create a safe and confidential environment so that participants feel comfortable sharing their emotions. By facilitating discussion of empathy and assertive communication, give concrete examples to help participants better understand these concepts. Encourage personal reflection without pressuring participants to share more than they are comfortable with. Evaluation method. Evaluation is based on the Emotional Intelligence Journal and observation of participation in group discussions. The facilitator can observe the understanding and application of the concepts through the responses and reflections shared by the participants. Additional notes. This activity is ideal for introducing emotional intelligence concepts in a practical way and helping participants to apply them in everyday situations. It is also an excellent opportunity to strengthen self-awareness and empathy in a safe and supportive environment. Chapter 4. Social support and emotional well-being. Social support is understood as interpersonal transactions involving help, affection, and affirmation. Kahn and Antonucci, 1980. These transactions fall into 4 categories: material, instrumental, emotional, and cognitive. Material supports involve monetary resources such as money or gifts, and non-monetary resources such as food or clothing. Instrumental supports, characterized by tangible aids, would be transport, help with household chores, and care and companionship. Emotional supports would include the transmission of affection, empathy, concern for others, etc., and cognitive supports through the transmission of information, advice, etc. The positive effects of social supports on individuals are evident. Billemere, Moen, Wethington, and Glasgow, 2000. These benefits translate into well-being, reducing feelings of isolation and increasing healthy behaviors. Specifically, in the area of health, it is reflected in support for coping with illness or stress. Indeed, social support appears to play an important role in moderating the impact of stressful life events on overall health, with mortality rates rising among people with low social support. Its effects on perceived stability, affect, and self-esteem have been demonstrated, as well as a positive relationship between social support and physical health. Social support is a fundamental component for the development of individual and family well-being. People who are in better psychological and physical condition are those who maintain a greater number of interactions or are socially integrated. Gracia and Herrero, 2006. It has also been established that the existence of positive human relationships makes it possible to achieve states of relative well-being and overcome stressful events during the different stages of life. Galvan et al., 2006. Within this social support network, we have family, friends, acquaintances, people who create a network around the person and to whom the person can turn to in difficult situations, stress, tragedy, etc. Having this social network helps to sustain us and to ensure that our emotional well-being does not plummet when we find ourselves alone and helpless. It is therefore crucial to weave these social support networks well. In the case of long-term migrants, it is essential that they manage to integrate into the community, that they build relationships with local people, that they become part of the host society and do not become discriminated against. It has been shown that positive attitudes towards oneself and social networks are essential factors for proper psychological functioning. Network distribution refers to the links that are most predominant, such as family and friendships. Thus, the help provided by the family is crucial in periods of crisis, and the support of friends reinforces social relations, favoring the social integration of the person. Migrants often lack family, or at least a large part of their family, when they settle in a host country, so they may feel quite vulnerable in this area. If they have a strong network of friends, this can make up for the lack of family and can act as a link between them and the local community. Human beings are social beings, and we all, to a greater or lesser extent, need others to feel that we belong and that we share with others. Social networks are therefore central to our emotional well-being. As we have seen, social support plays a crucial role in people's emotional well-being. This support is based on the support we receive from other people, whether they are friends, family members, co-workers, or the community at large. Social support provides emotional and material resources that help us to better manage stress. Knowing that we have someone who listens to us and understands us can help us reduce our sense of emotional burden. In addition, feeling supported by others boosts self-esteem and self-confidence. Positive social support can validate our emotions and strengths, which contributes to a more positive self-image. This also leads to an improvement in overall mood. Positive social interactions and affection from others can significantly improve our mood, lifting us out of isolation, loneliness, and exclusion. The company of friends and loved ones brings joy and pleasure, and at the same time helps to cope with periods of sadness or difficulties. Having a strong support network is essential to feel safe and supported. It is associated with a lower incidence of mental disorders, such as depression and anxiety. Sharing experiences and receiving practical advice can be crucial in overcoming difficult times, conflicts at work, losses, etc. Also, in times of crisis or adverse change, social support can strengthen emotional resilience. Feeling that we are not alone in our challenges allows us to recover more quickly and adapt better to new circumstances. Cultivating and maintaining social connections that are fulfilling and based on mutual support is fundamental to strengthening interpersonal relationships. This process not only enriches personal lives, but also has a positive impact on the emotional and psychological well-being of those involved. When social interactions are genuine and satisfying, a solid foundation is laid for building deeper and lasting bonds. This strengthening of relationships creates a positive cycle, where each positive interaction reinforces trust and connection between individuals. Furthermore, these connections are not only limited to a superficial level, but also allow people to share experiences, emotions, and thoughts in a more intimate way. This facilitates the development of a deeper mutual understanding and, in turn, further strengthens the bonds between the people involved. Social support and emotional well-being are critical for refugee and long-term migrant communities, as they play a crucial role in their adaptation and in building a stable and fulfilling life in a new environment. These elements are especially important, given the multiple challenges these communities face, including the trauma of displacement, loss of home and family, language and cultural barriers, and economic and legal uncertainty. Social support encompasses a wide range of interactions and relationships that provide emotional comfort, practical resources, and a sense of belonging. This support can come from a variety of sources, including family, friends, community organizations, religious institutions, NGOs, and the wider host community. There are several types of social support that are particularly important for refugees and migrants. Emotional support. This type of support involves the provision of empathy, love, care, and trust. It is essential in helping refugees and migrants cope with the stress and anxiety that arise from adjusting to a new country. Having someone with whom to share feelings and experiences can ease the emotional burden and provide a sense of security and comfort. For example, support groups formed by other migrants who have gone through similar experiences can provide a safe space to express emotions and receive practical and emotional advice. Instrumental support. This refers to tangible support that may include accommodation, assistance with employment, translation services, and guidance in accessing social and legal services. For refugees and migrants, receiving this type of support can be crucial to settling in a new country. NGOs and aid organizations that provide resources such as food, clothing, and legal assistance play a vital role in stabilizing the living conditions of these individuals and families. Information support. This type of support involves providing information and advice to help refugees and migrants make informed decisions and navigate host country systems. This may include information on legal rights, health systems, education and employment opportunities. Access to accurate and relevant information is crucial for adaptation, as it reduces uncertainty and fear of the unknown, enabling migrants to make safer and more effective decisions. Social integration support. This support facilitates the integration of refugees and migrants into the host society. It includes activities and programs that encourage social interaction, such as language classes, cultural events, and volunteering opportunities. These programs help migrants establish connections with the local community, better understand the culture and norms of the host country, and build social networks that can be an ongoing source of support and opportunities. The emotional well-being of refugees and migrants is closely linked to the quality and quantity of social support they receive. Social isolation and lack of support can lead to mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Conversely, strong social support can enhance emotional resilience, help manage stress, and foster a sense of belonging and security in the new environment. In addition, social support contributes significantly to migrants' cultural and social adaptation. Through positive interactions with the host community, refugees and migrants can learn about cultural norms, develop new skills, and gain confidence in their ability to integrate and contribute to society. This integration not only benefits individuals, but also enriches the wider community, promoting diversity and inclusion. In short, social support is an essential component of emotional well-being and adjustment for refugees and long-term migrants. It provides an emotional and practical safety net, which is crucial for overcoming the challenges of displacement and building a new life in a different environment. By promoting a welcoming and understanding environment, both migrant and host communities can work together to create a more inclusive and resilient society. A number of support and outreach programs have proven successful in providing crucial support to refugees and long-term migrants, helping them to integrate and improve their emotional and social well-being. These programs, often run by non-governmental organizations, NGOs, UN agencies, governments, and local communities, offer a range of services, from emotional and psychological support to job training and education. Below are some notable cases. 1. UNHCR's Community-Based Protection, CBP programs. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, implements community-based protection programs in various regions of the world, including Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. These programs focus on strengthening the resilience and well-being of refugee communities through community participation and mutual support. They include initiatives such as psychosocial support groups, life skills workshops, and community activities that foster social and cultural integration. One successful example is the program in Uganda, where refugees participate in income-generating activities and education, helping them to become self-reliant and contribute to the local economy. 2. The Tent Partnership for Refugees. This coalition of companies is dedicated to integrating refugees into the global workforce. Tent member companies such as Starbucks, IKEA, and Accenture have launched specific programs to hire and train refugees. These programs not only provide employment, but also offer skills training, language learning support, and mentoring. In Germany, for example, IKEA has implemented a training program for refugees that combines practical in-store learning with German language classes, thus facilitating integration and access to employment. 3. The Refugee Trauma Initiative, RTI. RTI, which operates in Greece and the Balkans, provides psychosocial and emotional support to refugees, especially children and youth who have experienced trauma due to conflict and displacement. Its programs include art therapy sessions, recreational activities, and specialized psychological support. This holistic approach helps refugees process their traumatic experiences and develop life skills, which is crucial for their long-term adaptation and well-being. 4th, Jesuit Refugee Service, JRS, Pathways to Education Program. JRS an international Catholic organization, offers the Pathways to Education program in several countries, which focuses on providing education and training to refugees and migrants. This program includes language classes, technical and vocational training, and guidance on the education system in the host country. In Italy, for example, JRS has facilitated refugees' access to higher education and helped young migrants to integrate into the local school system, improving their future prospects and their integration into society. 5. The International Rescue Committee, IRC, New Routes Program. IRC, a global humanitarian aid organization, offers the New Routes program in the United States, which helps refugees establish community gardens and participate in agricultural activities. This program not only provides fresh food and a source of income, but also creates spaces for community and cultural connection. Participants learn about local agricultural practices while sharing their own techniques and traditions, facilitating cultural and social integration. 6th, Migration and Refugee Integration Fund, AMIF, European Union. The European Union's Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund finances numerous projects across Europe to facilitate the integration of refugees and migrants. These projects include language classes, cultural orientation, psychological support, and mentoring programs. One example is the Integra project in Spain, which offers Spanish language classes, workshops on rights and duties, and activities to encourage interaction between refugees and the local community. These programs are examples of how social support and structured assistance can make a significant difference in the lives of refugees and long-term migrants. They provide not only the resources necessary for survival, but also the tools and opportunities for integration and personal and professional development, facilitating a pathway to a more stable and fulfilling life in the host country.